It certainly wasn't what you'd expect at a seminar on domestic violence. A statement by a Saudi judge talking about spousal abuse in the kingdom, and according to a newspaper, saying, "It's okay to slap a wife if she overspends." Of course, the more official language, as reported by the Saudi English-language newspaper Arab News, quoted Judge Hamad al-Razin as saying, if a person gives 1,200 riyals, about $320, to his wife, and she spends 900 riyals, about $240, to purchase an abaya from a brand shop, and if her husband slaps her on the face as a reaction to her action, she deserves that punishment. The abaya is the black cover that women in Saudi Arabia are required to wear. According to the paper, women in the audience made it clear that they took issue with that, but it didn't seem to get any better. According to Arab News, the judge also said that women shared as much responsibility for their abuse as men did, and then said that women's indecent behavior and use of offensive words against their husbands were some of the reasons for domestic violence in the country. Domestic violence is still a taboo subject in the deeply conservative kingdom. Only in recent years have groups like the National Family Safety Program campaigned to educate the Saudi public about the extent of the problem. Human Rights Watch told CNN there is significant underreporting of domestic violence in Saudi Arabia and that great pressure is put on women to keep such matters private.
There's a lot of shame associated with making it a public affair involving judges, and so typically women do not report incidents of violence and abuse. At the same time, there's societal sanction for abuse of women, violence against women. Some people argue that it's authorized by the Quran, that there is actually permission to strike a disobedient wife, where, of course, there are many other religious scholars who say that's not true.
Saudi women's rights activist Wajiha al-Huwaider told CNN that Saudi women routinely face such attitudes. This is how men in Saudi Arabia see women, she said in a telephone interview from the Saudi city of Dhahran. She added that, "I'm not surprised to see a judge or a religious man saying that. They've been raised in the same culture, a culture that tells them it's okay to raise your hand to a woman, that this works." Human Rights Watch, which has long campaigned for increased women's rights in Saudi Arabia, added that it was extremely troubling that a judge and religious figure would, through comments like these, give credibility to this type of behavior.
What's needed is for the government to state unequivocally that violence against women is never acceptable and will never be tolerated, and that the government will aggressively prosecute abusive men.
There have been recent indications that the Saudi judicial system is in the midst of an overhaul, that laws are being modified so that judges don't have as much discretion to implement Islamic law the way they see fit. As for opinions they hold or remarks they make, it's clear they're still free to do as they please. Mohammed Jamjoom, CNN, Atlanta.